then I'll make Leigh the host so that he can do whatever he needs now. There we go.
Cool. Right. I obviously I had to shoot off on. Hello, Andrea. We can get to see Andrea, which is brilliant. Hello.
Where is she? Where is she?
She's down there. Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
Hiya. Finally you're here. Well, you were here already, but now we see you.
So on Wednesday, I had to shoot off. So I know you guys had some chats afterwards, and I saw some of the chat functions, and there was quite a lot of discussion about the technology involved in the piece. And I think Andrea was absolutely right. Just update your technology and sort of stay on board with what's happening in Zoom. That's absolutely key. And I think there were a couple of questions about how do you put that there and how do you put this here and so on and so forth. But I didn't see any questions that I'm probably not going to answer.
Yeah.
The next piece of thing that I'm doing. So the way I'm going to do this is and by the way, you can tell me you want to do something else. I'm flexible, but I want to show you how we did this with something like Midsummer Night's Dream. Okay. So how do you take a piece of work like Midsummer Night's Dream with a group of actors that I've got that were midway through the play, right? And then we all of a sudden had to delve into the whole story online. And I was going to take you through some of that and show you some of the things that we did with that and that play. And then I was going to finish off by talking you through some of the problems that, and some of the questions and worries that I had about coming back into the studio. And maybe some updates for you on how that's been. And then I was just thinking you guys we can just do a Q&A, and you can just throw any questions that come at me or David, and we can just go from there. I don't know, how does that sound? Just sort of thumbs up if you're happy with that as a narrative of the evening. Okay, cool. Okay, brilliant. So David, I'm just going to jump in. Is that all right? Cool. So the first thing, David and I had this discussion about games, right? A really good discussion, because when David and I talk, we talk honestly about, things and drama. So for me, I love games. I absolutely love games. But with my group, this Midsummer Night's Dream group, who have been working with me for a long time, I tend to just dive in. They're the type of group that just wants to dive in and they want to get going. But I also want to tell you, one of the funniest things is when we came off lockdown, I sat down every group and I asked them, what was your favorite game? Right? And every group from 5 to 17 chose the same game. And the game was hide and seek. No word of a lie. It was their favorite game. And I just did it as a joke. And hide and seek is this. You say to all the young people, I'm going to put you in a breakout room for a minute. That will give you a minute to hide. You have to hide somewhere on your screen, okay? Right, so you can hide behind a chair. You can hide below the screen if you want to, right? But you've got a minute to hide. Now, after a minute, you know that it all of a sudden puts you back into the main screen. So you don't have to count them down, they've got a minute. Now, when they come back into the main screen, you then pick each window and you go, hi, David. David, are you behind the chair? And if David's not behind the chair, right, David doesn't move. Then you go, David, are you behind the curtain? And if David's not behind, if you do get David comes and sits down, and then you start working on the next one. But David can help you on the next one, right? That was by far their favorite game, right? Unanimously. And I said to them, but why? Because there's no real drama in it, is there? There's just hiding on your screen. And they just went, it was fun. It's just fun trying to find people on a screen. And I think sometimes the simplest games are by far the best. So David did that one about, put your face to the thing and run and stuff. So we play a similar game, but we call it Temple Run. Temple Run, the game on your where someone's running all the time. So we just turned it into Temple Run. So we're like, you have to constantly run. And then we say the saw is coming and they're going to drop their head. Or, you're going running left or you're going running right. And it was bizarre. That was their favorite game, was hide and seek. And I also said to David, there's some incredible websites with lists and lists and lists of games, really good games with people that have spent hours coming up with them. I got to the point of online after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I had exhausted everything. And I said to my young people, do you want to play games or do you want to get straight into the work? And they just went, we want to get into the work now because we're ready. So I'm going to just take you through something that we did around the characters of Demetrius and Helena. Now, just as a show of hands, can you just tell me who knows the story of Midsummer Night's Dream? You don't have to. Fab. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so Aisha, it's great because I'm just going to show you everything I do at my youth theatre. I always do with images first and sound, right? Because I don't know what their internet connection is going to be like. So I'm going to start off with I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to take you through how we started the scene. Now, these young people had a knowledge of the play and a knowledge of the characters. But all I'm going to do is I'm just going to start off and I'm going to share my screen. Let's get this going. I'm going to take you to an image, right? David, can you just tell me if you can see that image? Can you?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so you see this image, the image that you're seeing now, right? In your chat function, because your chat function should be there, I'm hoping, he says.
Yes,
I can't see. Okay.
Just need to click on the thing.
Oh yeah, where's mine's gone.
Click
it doesn't
on
matter,
the
I can start.
Balloon at the bottom.
Yeah, no, mine doesn't have a bottom one now. It's fine. It's because of the way I'm sharing it. It's not a problem. So if you quickly in the chat function, right, just type anything that you can see. Don't even make it complicated. Just anything you can see about these characters. Don't even overthink it. Curly hair. Man, woman, pleading. I love that, Andrea. Pleading. Keep it going. Keep it going. Don't stop there. Dismissive gesture. I like that. Man skirt. I love it. Forest. Good. Keep going. Dress. Forest. Lots of hair sword. Hairs and sword. Cool. Knees. Brilliant. Keep going. Don't stop. Because we know that the first 10 words that you're going to use are the 10 that you are comfortable with. I want more than 10. Give me more than 10. If you want to talk about the character, how they feeling, anything, just throw that there. Okay, someone's holding up his hands, watercolor, lovely lady, boots. He's not interested in her. Okay, that's cool. Keep going. I'm giving you another minute. Fill it. There's nothing that is unacceptable. Misty. Good, okay. Telling her to go away. Aisha, lovely. Why do you want me to go away? Now we're getting deeper. Yeah. Dismissive, good. Strong hand action, good. The wood, very good. Keep going. I want to ask you one more question. Give me a word to describe their relationship. Give me a word, just one word. Just type in as many words as you can. You've got a minute, go. I don't care about spelling. Complicated, one-sided, lovely, fraught, beautiful, spurning, sad. Oh, yeah, Aisha, gorgeous. Yearning, Brilliant. Keep coming, keep coming. You've got 30 seconds. Keep going. Lovesick. I don't care about spelling. She's asking him why he doesn't love her. Oh, in love, Jenny. Very good. Annoyed, Julie. Good one. I like that. Good. And determined. Right. So let's just stop the share. So for me, it's about getting as many words and as many discussions going as possible. Right. So it's about engaging them. Okay, so we've got this character. They would know that the character is Demetrius. And we've got Helena. So I'm going to show you another picture of the same scene, right? Yet again, if there's anything you see that is different to the first time, could you just put it in the chat function, right? And by the way, throw anything into the chat function. So even if you think, oh, this is, I don't know if this is right, I just want your, and by the way, could also have your emotional reaction to the scene. So if you feel whatever it's making you feel, could you let me know as well? Right. So let's just quickly show you another image. Here we go. There. Go. Just throw them in. Any words, any phrases, anything. Even if you know some text from this part, you can throw that in as well. Not a problem. Tension. I love that. Annoyed, determined, begging, let go of my leg. Strong. Oh, Julie, strong versus weak. Ooh, Julie, who's strong? Who's weak? Who holds the strength? I am your spaniel. Beat me. Stubborn. Ooh, who is stubborn? That would be good. Onlooker. Oh, Jenny feels like we're the onlooker. Go away, Eleanor. That's a good question. Okay, cool. Keep going. Give me another. Go. Don't hold back. Need free, absolute free flow. Power, Natty. It's a good one. Who holds the power, Natty? Eleanor. Status. Ignoring her. Good. Love it. Okay, you can stop there. So what I want to do now is I'm going to show you in a second. I'm going to show you one more image. There's two actually, but the next image is. You've got this very old image of Demetrius and Helena. Then you've got a play version of Demetrius and Helena. So let's just elevate it to a bit more now, right? Let's just elevate it just a bit more to a production still of a picture that is more now. And could I just ask you, yet again, if there's anything that you notice that might be a bit different, please let me know. If there's anything that comes to mind, just let me know. But I also want you to just, when I show you the next picture, instead of calling them Demetrius and Helena, come up with any names you can and give them a bit of a backstory. Just type in a backstory. Tell me something I don't know about the next two characters. Don't be held back by Midsummer Night's Dream, right? So next image, bit more updated, bit more now, right? This image over here. Okay, anything. Just give me a backstory. There's two people, two lovers, if they love each other. Just anything. Cool. I'm going to have a look there. And it's going to... Jack and Layla. I like that. Nigel and Samantha. Jenny, let's run away. Good one. I wonder who's saying that. Very good. Very good. I'm sure you loved me. Oh, I'm sure you loved me before. Yeah, when you texted me last night. Good. They've known each other all their lives, Eleanor. Good one. Come with me now. Okay. Rick and roll. Oh, I love that. I'm not in love with you, boy. The boy says, I'm not in love with you. Good. Keep going. Anything else? Tell me about them. Let's explore the world. Jenny. Oh, okay. She's in love with him and she proposes something to him and he's surprised. I like that. You can see by his face. But I loved you all my life. I loved my mummy, not you. That's a good one. That's a good one, David. Bit of a mummy's boy then. You've gone with the mummy's boy then. Very good. Okay. So good. I'll leave that there. So at the moment, we're just gathering. We're gathering, but you're in charge, aren't you? So very, very early on, I've put you in charge. I'm not coming in and saying this is Midsummer Night's Dream. and this is how we do it. I'm saying you're in charge of this. Now, here's the last one, right? And I want you to really think about this one, because in this one, let's say that we can't be in the theater. We can't make that scene, can we? Because we're all sitting on Zoom. You're my cast of Midsummer Night's Dream. But I want to show you the next image, right? And the next image, I want to, in a second, I'm going to ask you your response to the next image, okay? So this is what this might look like if we weren't in a studio, right? So let me just share my screen. Okay. Obviously, I've taken it from iStock by Getty Images, iStock, because it is the best image I've found around this. But have we got the same, by the way, have we got the same emotions? Just tell me if you think so. Just, in the chat button, because I can't all hear you at the moment, which is great. Just tell me, do you think we've got the same emotions? Oh, David says a bit more anger. Okay, good. I like that. Eleanor's going, yes. But Eleanor goes, but it's interesting. Yeah, good. Keep going. Right. So what we've got is we've got these two characters. He's more angry. Good one, Eleanor. More dramatic. So what I want you to do is take some time and drink in the picture. This is the point where I don't want you to look at anywhere else but the picture. Okay. This man we will call Demetrius, right? And Demetrius is on the phone, is on a Zoom conversation or a phone conversation to Helena. Now, the thing is, Helena desperately loves Demetrius more than anything in the world. Demetrius desperately loves another woman called Hermia. By the way, I always play with gender stereotypes. So actually, I could play this as two ladies. I could play this as two men. At our youth theatre, we never stick to stereotypes, actually. But I'm just playing the typical one at the moment. Actually, in my current play, Demetrius is a man, and both Hermia, Helena, and Lysander are all women. So we play with this all the time. But I'm going with the basic stereotype, right? Demetrius likes another woman called Hermia. Helena has given Demetrius a phone call because she wants to talk about how much she loves him. Demetrius is not interested in this phone call at all. The problem is Demetrius does not have the ability to end the call. There is no end call button on his phone, right? He can't put the phone down. It never ends. So the easiest thing would just be him putting the phone down, but he can't. The call continues. So what I want you to do, do we all understand the premise of the improvisation?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so we're going to go into the improvisation. I'm going to put you into pairs, right? One of you might end up in a 3, because I'm not going to involve myself in the discussion. If you end up in a 3, right, I would love the other person to be Hermia on the other phone, right? So you've got Helena on one phone, Demetrius is speaking to Helena on one phone, and then on the other phone is speaking to Hermia. I'd love to see what you can do that, okay? Oh, okay, Julie, not a problem. Let's just see, because if you can do your voice, that would be fine as well. Okay, not a problem. Julie, I will keep you out of the loop then. Not a problem, I got it now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you into pairs. I want you to go and improvise. I want you to improvise the scene. So Julie will come into your group, but she'll just be watching from the other side. So so the whole thing is improvise the scene. And then I want to watch your improvisation. By the way, this is either happening on the phone or it's happening on Zoom. So make it specific to the performance space that we've got. Do we understand? Does anyone want to ask me a question before I let you go? Natty, ask ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, sorry, I got lost in a moment. The conversation is between Demetrius and Helena, and I didn't get
yeah,
Helena's role.
Oh, I said if there was a 3, but there won't be a 3 now because Julie's just Julie can only listen.
Okay.
So everyone will be in pairs.
Okay,
So that
like
2, 4.
Demetrius and Helena, they were talking
Oh, no.
together.
No, because
Andrew-
we've got Andrea is there twice. There's
Andrea's there twice. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
My computer, yeah.
Okay, that's not a problem. So what I will do is I will go into one of the rooms with you so that we've got pairs, right? So pairs, so I'll put you into, and then Julie will be in one of the rooms. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
But I just say the question, Natty, we don't need to do a 3. So it's just Helena speaking to Demetrius. Now you can sit there and you can do it on your phone, right? That's not a problem. Or you can sit there and do it on Zoom. But the thing is, Demetrius cannot switch off, okay? Right? And I want you to make it as real as possible. Forget the text. We will come to the text. Let's find out what this would feel like now. If we had to perform Midsummer Night's Dream on Zoom, what would it feel like now? Yeah? Is that all good? Brilliant. I'm just going to put you into breakout rooms. And let me just, I'm just going to assign manually. So I'm going to recreate, add room. So I'm going to put us into 4 rooms. So I'm going to put, just trying, okay, those 2 in the first room. By the way, this is, I can now assign, I'm actually assigning this time. This is different to me just going random. I can assign. So there's this little thing to the side where I can decide who's going into each room. And last one, I'm going to put, right, I'm going to open all the rooms and off you guys go, and I will call you back in about 2 minutes. Off you go.
Hello. Unmute.
Sorry, David.
No,
Sorry.
that's all right.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay, well, I'm going to be Helena.
how are you? Well, if you want to be, that's fine. I was just going to say we could switch gender roles, but I don't mind. I don't really care. So I'll play a stereotyped male in that case.
Yeah.
Against my personality, of course.
Yes, of course. Absolutely.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Here we are.
Would you
What do you
prefer-
want? What do you want? Why have you called me up?
Oh, you don't know why I've called you, Demetrius. Why I always call you, and I'm just wondering why it is that you can't just. Why can't you just see that it's obvious that we are supposed to be together? I just don't know why you keep avoiding the obvious.
It's obvious. What are you talking about? Obvious. I've never known anybody who's so different from me, who doesn't understand
This
my
is it.
needs.
Exactly. Opposites attract. Haven't you noticed the electricity between us? It's just so powerful, and we just got so much to share. I mean, it would be so boring, wouldn't it? I mean, if you were the same as me and I was the same as you, we'd have nothing.
But it's like I like punk music. You like orchestral music. I like ice cream, and you like curry.
Imagine a fusion. We could start a whole new musical movement. I mean, why are you lying to yourself, Demetrius?
I'm not lying. I'm.
You
know your best friend.
I think I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing.
It's not you. I'm in love with.
You're just trying to. You think that I need to have a bit of a chase, you know, that you think that just to make sure that, you know, you think that girls like bad boys, don't you? That's it. That's what.
No, I'm just fed up with you chasing me around all the time. I just want to be alone. And well, actually, I've found somebody else and she's your best friend. But I mean, I don't really want to talk about that.
You're just
Okay.
saying that to be hurtful.
Well, it's true. I'm in love with someone else. Okay.
It could possibly be true.
I used to like you, but you just get on my nerves.
How can you stop? It's not, love isn't something that just disappears. It's eternal. Rationally think about this. Can't you remember just even recently you were swearing this undying love. So how can it just? How long is this going on for now, Dave?
Well, that was at least a month ago, and I don't know. I just moved on. You just have to move with the times, and now it's locked down now. I can't even see you. I can't even be with you. So what's the point?
Want to be, don't you? You want to be. I know you do.
Well, no, I'm quite happy with my Netflix and my Sky Football, and
I see. This is a coping mechanism, isn't it? This is coping mechanism. But don't worry, we will soon be together.
What's the point? What is the point? We can't meet up.
And because I love you.
Yeah, but you're in a tier 3 zone. I can't even come and visit you.
Oh, so what? So many people are breaking the rules. What are you talking about? Why do we?
Okay, well look, I know I'm not meant to leave, but let's leave now. Let's go back to time. That was great. Thank you.
I was sorry I couldn't stay all of Wednesday, but I was working and teaching, so I was teaching at the same time. So yeah.
Oh, brilliant. David's back. Eleanor's back. Right, very good. Very good. And we got Julie, who's that's a swimming picture there. That's great. Andrea, who is in 2 rooms. There's 2 Andreas, which is really freaky. Because Andrea,
sorry, my computer doesn't have a camera, so I have to borrow a camera, and then I can't type or read the comments, so I need the computer. It's weird.
Just to say that this is like this parallel universe. You were in a breakout room, but you were also in the main room. That's just freaky. That's freaky stuff. Okay, so who wants to give it a go? And by the way, what we'll do is we'll give you a go for a minute. I'll just put a minute timer on, and all you do is you just go for a minute. That's that simple. Just so that we can see.
Just choose somebody.
Oh, just choose someone. Okay. Yeah. Well, I always believe that I always believe in you. Either as a teacher, you should always do stuff. So I'm gonna chuck myself into the hot seat first, right? So what I'm going to do is I was with Jenny, so I'm just going to spotlight Jenny, right? And then hopefully this works because I'm going to add myself. Can you see 2 people on the screen now? Okay, brilliant. So Jenny and I, we're just going to ad lib. Let me just give myself a minute. I'm just going to get my timer up. Okay, Jenny, let's go. Hi. Yes, you called me. What do you want?
Yeah, we set up this Zoom call last night.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
No, we didn't. You got to understand. Look, you need to get off this the Zoom call, Jenny, because Hermia is on the other line. Okay, she's waiting to come on. You need to go.
No, I'm not going anywhere.
No, you don't understand this, Jenny. I don't like you. Okay, it's quite simple. I don't like you. I like Hermia. So please get off my Zoom call because you're becoming quite annoying now.
But I love you, and that's why we set up this Zoom call.
No. I don't love you, Jenny. I've said this 100 times, okay? You can't just come and start doing... Look, what are you going to do? Just sit there. Are you just going to sit there? I need you to get off the call, please.
I'm not going anywhere.
Jenny, you don't understand. Hermia is waiting, okay? I can't spend the next hour looking at your face.
Hermia is my best friend. She wouldn't go out with you.
She doesn't like you, Jenny. She doesn't like you. Hermia doesn't like you, man. Time. Good one, Jenny. Well done. That was really cool. Okay. Well done. Right, let me just remove some. Okay, so next 2. Who's going to bounce on the scene? So we'll go that whole thing about not choosing. We'll go, David. Who was your partner, David? You need to unmute yourself.
Eleanor.
Okay, so we're going David and we're going Eleanor. Let's just get Eleanor here. And we're going to give you a minute. You should both be on screen now. And 3, 2, 1, go.
Yes, go on. Get in there. Come on.
Demetrius, it's me. Demetrius.
What do you want? Can't you see I'm watching football?
Oh, you're just teasing. I know you want to talk to me. Demetrius,
Why are you calling me up?
What do you mean? Why am I calling you up? Because
Yeah.
because we're together. We have a relationship, and because you love me.
Oh yeah, go on, mate. Go on down the field.
Demetrius, if you want to, we could watch it together. You know how I love to do anything that you enjoy doing, and
No, that's not true. I like football. You like ballet. I like punk. You like orchestral music.
I know. But that's what I keep. But that's a wonderful thing, isn't it, Demetrius? Because you see, if we both like the same things, then it would be boring, wouldn't it?
It is boring. Look,
No, it's not.
Don't you realise it's lockdown now? We can't even meet up. What's the point?
Well, there's
Time,
so many people.
time, brilliant. Give them a clap. Excellent work. Excellent. Right, let's just remove spotlight there. Okay, remove spotlight there. Right, next one, we will go with Aisha. Who was your partner, Aisha?
Andrea.
Oh, Aisha and Andrea, okay. So we'll spotlight Andrea and let's spotlight Aisha. So you should have both of them on your screen and we'll give you a minute and 3, 2, 1, play.
Aisha, I'm so glad you're here because I've decided to start my very own drama club and I wrote all the agenda, all the games, and you're my first person. I'm so glad you're going to join.
Listen, Andrea. I'm on call right now with Julie. So can we talk later?
It's no fine. Yeah, sure. But let me just make sure. So I'm going to call back in 5 minutes, and then we can finish discussing, right?
You know, it's not about 5 minutes, Andrea. You know, I have a lot of assignments to do, and I'm already committed to some work. So I cannot get along with your stuff. I mean, I'm not interested in what you are doing. So
I understand completely, but it's a matter of time. So I am going to keep my Zoom call open. I'll keep my emails open. I will also stay by the phone. I will be available when you
Andrea,
are.
you're not getting me. Andrea, you're not getting me. You know, I have committed to a few things with Julie already, and I'm good to go along with her. So do you understand?
Of course. So you're going to let Julie know that we're going to focus on this, and then
Time. Brilliant. Good. Oh my gosh. Andrea just would not take the hint at all. It was difficult to watch. Right, okay, we'll go with Natty. Natty, who are you working with then? Is it Natty and Josie? Brilliant. So let's put Josie on spotlight for everyone, and let's put Natty on the other spotlight there as well. Okay, so you've got a minute, ladies. Do your thing. Go.
Hi.
Hi, Demetrius.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
I want to talk to you.
I'm good.
I want to talk to
What?
you. I want to
What
talk
happened?
to you. Nothing.
What?
I just
I
want
can't
to talk
talk.
to you.
I can't talk now. We have been talking
Why
for
not?
2 hours. I mean,
Why not?
I have to go now. We have been talking for 2 hours
We
yesterday.
haven't. Yesterday, but today we haven't.
Well, but I think I have said everything to you yesterday.
No, you didn't
What
say
do
you
you-
love me.
Well,
didn't
you
say
know
you
that
love
people change, my darling. People change. I have already told you about this stuff. I'm in love with Hermia. You know about this.
But Hermia doesn't love you.
Well, that's my problem.
Yeah.
Time. Good. Great work. Great work. I love it. I love that whole thing about we talked yesterday. Yeah, we talked yesterday for 2 hours. Okay, so now you can see it lends itself. The scene lends itself to online, right? So I'm just going to quickly, because the one thing that we always do in everything that we do, we just review and reflect. Okay, so if I call your name, just tell me something you really liked that you heard. It could be from your own group or another group. It could be a phrase. It could be a word. It could be a way of acting, something that you really just went, oh, I get the character. Okay, so we'll start off Natty. Natty, give us one thing that you really liked.
From Aisha, that she was continuously telling that she had lots of assignments, and Andrea not getting a no for an answer, was continuously pushing.
Yes, sorry.
Agreed. I love that. I love that. Not getting no for an answer, continuously
Yeah.
pushing. Those are really good words. And actually, those are words that could quite easily define Helena.
Yes.
I'm not getting an answer. I'm not getting the answer I want, so I will keep pushing. Right.
And
Brilliant.
what I loved is that they didn't use the names. They didn't use her, Helena and Dimitris, and they used other names, and the situation was the same.
Yeah.
This is something that I really liked it.
Exactly, because the one thing that we know is that Shakespeare understood relationships.
Yeah.
So you can have the same discussion now, not using his text, but get the same thing. So a lot of people dive into Shakespeare and they want to do the language. The language is vital, don't get me wrong. But if it doesn't have any basis, right, they will fall over it. They will not see the why. Okay, brilliant, excellent. So I'm going to go. Let's remove that spotlight and let's go. Jenny, something that you heard that you really, really liked.
I liked Eleanor's piece with David. I felt that they were brilliant with the football that was going on in the background, and that they both liked different things. Like, I suppose any couple would, that they both like different things and try and do things together. I felt that was a good way of playing that.
And I also like the fact that David saw that as a reason to be apart.
Yeah.
But Eleanor twisted the words for it to be a reason to stay together. As Helena in the script twists Demetrius's words to go with her concept that he loves her, and Demetrius sees her words as hateful and horrendous. Both of them hear different things. Okay, excellent. Great work there, Jenny. If I go, Aisha, let's spotlight you and let's see what you think there.
Oh yes, Leigh, I actually, really like the sentence where Eleanor used that, the difference makes it more, the difference amongst us is more like kind of interesting. What it would be so boring if we are similar, right? The difference that makes us more interesting, and we are attracted towards each other. And then David denies it, that, oh no, we all we have nothing in common, right? Your choices, your likes are different, my likes are different. So I really love that part.
And there's a very interesting concept within the lovers concept of Midsummer Night's Dream of opposites attract.
Yeah.
Right? Or do they? The way that you play the words in the scene will define the strength of the character. And when we'll look at that. Thank you so much, Aisha. Right, we're going to move on. Let's go, David. David, I'm going to spotlight you, mate. Or you go.
Yeah, I think. Well, I'd like to comment about you and Jenny. I just felt so sorry for Jenny. I thought she was having a really hard time from this kind of brusque man who just wouldn't give the time of day to her. And I noticed in the comments that in a previous improvisation, Jenny had kind of won the scene by kind of putting you down at the end of it. And I was just waiting for that moment, for the tables to be turned.
The thing is, David, Jenny and I sort of worked on that for 2 minutes, but Jenny was just so nice. Yeah. And I found it really hard. And I just thought I can either be nice back or I can just be more angry, which funny enough is what happens in this. You can play the scene where Demetrius really, really loses it. He says, I will do you mischief in the wood. He almost says, I will beat you up if you carry on. But the way that you say, I will do you mischief in the wood, changes the whole context of the piece. I'm sorry, Jenny. I hope I didn't upset you, but She was just too nice, man. It's just right. I'm used to someone just actually shouting back at me. Right, Andrea, have we listened? Have we heard you? So we just spotlight you. Let's hear what you got to say about what you saw.
For me is I love all the scenes, how the relationships were very clear, but they all had different modern twists between the football game or the cell phone. Someone's had Zoom, and so having that modern twist makes it more appealing and engaging as an introduction to Shakespeare to younger audiences.
Absolutely brilliant. So Andrea, the whole concept of engaging, right, is what you asked. How do you do it on Zoom? How do you engage people on Zoom, right? Be careful that you don't throw them stuff that can never be done on this place, right? Because that means that they're on a hiding to nothing. But there's so many scenes, you'll realize there are so many scenes that if you think differently, they fit in this environment, right? So especially there's that beautiful scene where the lovers fight. We've done a 4-way conversation on a phone, on Zoom, with those lovers absolutely tearing each other apart in the original language, okay? But because we've done this before, they got so much more from it. Brilliant. Let's have a chat. Josie, if I come to you, is that all right? Let me just, okay, spotlight for you. Do you want to just give us some feedback on that one? You need to unmute, sorry. It's when you come back and sometimes it just mutes you.
Yeah, no, I muted myself actually. So yeah, I think David stood out actually with his football. I liked it. I thought it was really good. I think my husband can do that sometimes. You know, he just doesn't want to know when he's watching football, and I don't like football at all. So yeah. He's commenting, he's just come downstairs. Anyway, yeah. And I love Aisha and Andrea as well. I thought that was really excellent because, well, I liked all of them, but yeah, I thought Aisha was really a really good Demetrius there.
Yeah, and I also like the way that you changed the context, and that it's all right to do that. But yes. the one thing that you all held on to it is that one person does not want to be with the other person.
Yes.
Which is actually what you said about all the pictures.
Yes.
Right. Okay, cool. I'm going to, Eleanor, have we heard from you? Right, let me just remove spotlight. Okay. Eleanor, are you there?
Muted.
Can't hear you.
Are you muted? I know, she knows she's muted.
Oh, right.
She's trying to find the button to unmute her.
Can you
or not?
Her yourself?
But as a host, I think you can unmute her.
I can ask to unmute her, but I actually can't unmute her. So I can ask to unmute you. I know, I'm sorry. I can only ask to unmute you. It's very nice. And there's nothing. Okay, so am I saying you can't see the bar on the top? But look at the bar on the top. Oh, you can't see that. Okay, I feel like I'm Demetrius here. The mouse is broken. Is this charades?
It's run out of battery.
Or time for men.
Oh, is this one of the games? I love it.
Yeah.
This is a drama. This is the best drama game I have played. Well done. Keep going, Eleanor. This is hilarious. 10 figures. You're going for a run.
Come right back.
She's angry.
Could do it some sign language now.
Oh man. Right.
I think she's telling us.
Wait.
I think she's telling us to wait 5 minutes. Yes.
Okay. So I'm just going to go back to gallery view, and you guys know that on your top right-hand side, you can go between speaker and gallery on the top right-hand side, so you can, So now what happens is we did a lot of improvisation around these characters, okay, because we were coming up to this scene. And then what I did is I said, okay, so let's look at the text. Now, as before, I would actually send them the text. They had the scripts at home, or they had the scripts on our website, or I had emailed them the scripts beforehand, or it was in the chat function, But let's have a look at the text, right? And by the way, I've taken this text and I've just fitted it to one page. So I've edited the text so that you can get the feeling of the text in one page. Now, like I said last week, if you've got a phone, you can just take a picture of the text on your phone and then you've got the text with you. But I've kept it simple, okay? So let me just share the text from this scene. Can you all see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So what I want you to do, I'm just going to quickly stop. Well, I'm not going to stop sharing, but what I want you to do is I want you to all mute yourselves, which for Eleanor will be easy because she's mute already. Okay. The reason I'm muting all of you, right, is I want you by yourself. So I'm going to mute myself in a second. I want you by yourself just to read through the text, right, in your rooms. Now, the reason I did this is that there's a lot of noise when you come online, right? So I just give children a chance to have a go by themselves without their microphones on. So they don't have to worry if they get some words wrong or some words right. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly mute myself. All I want you to do is just read through, let me just go back. I just want you to read through that text at home. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so now you've read it over, right? I just want you, is there any word to begin with, any words that you don't understand? Just unmute yourself now and just ask me that word. If there's a word that you don't understand, just ask me. Okay, I'm just going to quickly read it through so you can just hear one voice saying it. So the rest of you mute yourselves. And this is really important, by the way, so that when they first hear the text, it's not bombarded with sound. So
Leigh, we had a request for the word adamant.
Adamant. Okay. Instead of me giving you the answer, who can unmute themselves and tell me what you think adamant means?
Stubborn.
I know.
Okay, so David's saying stubborn.
Well, it's like stubborn. It's a hard stone, isn't it?
Okay.
Literally.
Determined, yeah.
But it basically implies stubborn, I guess.
So what we're saying is that he's hard-hearted and he's stubborn. Are we all right with that? Good, good, good. Yeah. Any other word there, David? I can't see the chat.
No, that was it.
Okay, so if you all mute yourselves, I'm just going to read it through, just so that you can hear the words. And because you're all muted, it just means the sound is a bit easier on Zoom, especially when you're listening to stuff for the first time. Demetrius says, I love thee not, therefore pursue me not, hence get thee gone and follow me no more. Helena, you draw me, you hard-hearted adamant. Demetrius, do I entice you? Do I speak you fair? Or rather do I not in plainest truth tell you I do not, nor I cannot love you? Helena, and even for that do I love thee the more. Demetrius, Tempt not too much the hatred of my spirit, for I am sick when I do look on thee, Helena, and I am sick when I look not on you, Demetrius. I'll follow thee and make a heaven. Actually, I'm going to come back. I'll follow thee. That's her line. It's her line.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That last line, apologies, guys. That's Helena's line. Don't know where the Demetrius is. Helena goes, I'll follow thee and make a heaven of hell to die upon the hand I love so well. I don't know why that Demetrius snuck in there, but that's Helena's line. Okay, so let me just stop the share. And so we've gone over the words now. So number one, you guys have done loads of Shakespeare word stuff. One, they've got to understand the words, right? Two, they've got to play with that whole concept, which you've done, played with characters. And now what I want to do is we're just going to hear two different voices play it. So I'm going to show you my screen, right? And what I've done is I've highlighted the different voices. Ignore the last one because that's now Helena's. Let me just actually, do you know what? Give me 1 second because that is going to annoy me wholeheartedly. So I'm just going to quickly just come back to that, do this and delete that. And there we go. Okay, cool. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to this scene, right? And I've highlighted Demetrius in yellow and Helena in white. So could I ask Jenny, do you mind reading Demetrius for me?
That's fine, yeah.
And Andrea, could you read Helena for me?
Okay.
So if I only have Andrea, and let's have a look. Let me just check this is right. I'm not gonna show you their faces. We're just gonna look at the text to begin with. Andrea and Jenny should be the only people with their mics off. The rest, if we just mute ourselves so we get a clear sound. Right. Okay. The rest of us should have our mics on. 3, 2, 1.
I love thee not, therefore pursue me not. Hence, get thee gone and follow me no more.
You draw me, you hard-hearted adamant.
Do I entice you? Do I speak you fair? Or rather, do I not, in plainest truth, tell you I do not, nor I cannot love you?
And even for that do I love thee the more.
Tempt not too much the hatred of my spirit, for I am sick when I do look on thee.
And I am sick when I look not on you. I'll follow thee and make a heaven of hell, to die upon the hand I love so well.
Excellent. Well done, give them a clap. That's really, really good. Really good. What I'd like to do now, David, I would like to ask you to read Demetrius, but I want you to make Demetrius seriously, seriously angry. Okay? So my word for you is I want him seriously angry from the beginning. Instead of going from, we talk about turning up the volume, I want you to turn up the anger volume from 0, and I almost want you to be at 8 or 9. Okay? Right? And I would like, let me just get this. Could I have Aisha, do you mind reading Helena for me? And I want you to be pathetic. I want you to be I want you to turn up that pathetic volume to 8 or 9, right? Really whiny and pathetic. And let's see what happens to the text. You all right with that? So only those two unmute themselves. The rest we should all mute so that we get to hear a nice sound on the piece. Okay, and 3, 2, 1.
I love thee not, therefore pursue me not. Canst get thee gone and follow me no more.
You draw me, you hard-hearted adamant.
Do I entice you? Do I speak you fair? Or rather, do I not in plainest truth tell you I do not, nor I cannot love you?
And even for that, do I love the more.
tempt not too much the hatred of my spirit, for I am sick when I do look on thee.
And I'm sick when I look not on you. I'll follow thee and make a heaven of hell to die upon the hands I love so well.
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Now, generally, right, that falls nicely into a stereotype, doesn't it? So let's mess the stereotype up totally. So Natty, could you read Demetrius? And I want you to make Demetrius absolutely pathetic. Okay, absolutely pathetic, please. And I would like, let me just, and I'd like Eleanor, can you speak now? Can you, so if
Yeah.
you, Eleanor,
No, can you hear me?
Brilliant, yeah,
Yes.
Eleanor,
Yes.
Eleanor, I would like you to play, right? I would like you to play Helena aggressive. Yes, she's in love, but she's aggressively in love, right? He has no choice. She's not giving him a choice. So I want to absolutely take what David and Aisha have done, which is really, really good. Let's switch it around and let's see what happens. Everyone else, just put your microphones on so you can read off, sorry, just those so you can really hear the sound. We'll work on the face later, but I just want to hear words first. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
I love thee not, therefore pursue me not. Hence get thee gone and follow me no more.
You draw me, you hard-hearted adamant.
Do I entice you? Do I speak you fair? Or rather, do I not in plain the truth tell you I I cannot love you?
And even for that, do I love thee more?
Tempt not too much the hatred of my spirit, for I am sick when I do look on thee.
And I am sick when I look not on you. I'll follow thee and make a heaven of hell to die upon the hand I love so well.
Yeah. Good. Brilliant. Okay, so what we do then is there's loads of, I mean, there are hundreds of games you can play with text. You know, you can do that lovely thing about, you see that whole thing that we've just written? Break it down to 5 words. So that every time, so that what you do is you choose only one word for Demetrius, one word for Helena, one word for Demetrius, one word for Helena. So your script is only five words long, and try and get the same experience of those 5 words, right? There are loads of things you can do that. That whole thing about turning up to 10, going down to 0, give me a word, make the character pathetic, right? All those things. But there's millions. And by the way, the Royal Shakespeare Company's website is just, especially if you're working with children and you can get access to it. But I mean, the first people that you see on that website are our children from sort of Silhouette. They introduce the children's thing, but there's some incredible stuff there. It's just incredible. But let's just go back. I just want to look at this script, right? So I want you now to take this piece. You've all got access to these words, right? I want you to take this piece back into your breakout room, right? Because you now should all have access to the words. Am I right? Yeah? Okay.
Sorry, are they in the chat? Sorry.
I will.
I have put them in the chat as well.
Oh, you're a legend. Thank you so much, David.
Okay, yeah.
So what right, when you go back into the chat, let me just close my chat down here. When you go back, I've said that 5 times. Hold on a sec.
Breakout room.
Sorry. When you go back into when you go back into the breakout rooms, right? I want you to take that scene, but I want you to keep it on Zoom. I want you to keep it on your phone. Don't put it onto a theater, right? Do it with the tools that you've got. You can stand up, right? You can move. You can pretend you're on the phone. It can be on Zoom, right? I mean, it can be on Zoom or phone, but don't make it theatrical. Also, for some of you, play around with stereotypes, right? We challenge everything. So the fact that a lot of people play Demetrius as this really angry, he's in control person, shift the control to Helena, see what happens, and then do it again. You can try it as many times as you want. There's no right, there's no wrong, there is your interpretation. Okay, make Helena bored, make Demetrius, he can't get signal. Do what you want, just make that scene come alive on this medium, okay? Because then we're going to watch you on this medium, and we need to capture some of the lovely stuff that you had before. So I'm going to send you to breakout rooms, and I'm going to send you to the same breakout room. Linda, do you want to go to breakout room?
Yeah, she could go instead of me. I was with Eleanor before.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to recreate a room. So I'm going to put, let's see, I'm going to change you all around, because that's what I usually do. So I'm going to put you into 4 rooms. I'm going to assign automatically. I'm going to put Linda with, just move to, sorry, it's when you, and I'm going to put that there, move to, yeah, and I'll find out which one Andrea goes to. Right, open all rooms. You've got, I'll give you 4 minutes, right? You've got all access to the script. Off you go. David, it sent you to a room, sorry.
I won't go then, is that right?
No, you might have to, because I think there's two Andreas.
Right.
So I'm going
to back if necessary.
Oh,
yeah, so we're together again. That's nice.
We're again. All right.
Okay, great.
I'm just going to open up the script.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to.
Yeah, I've got it on my phone, so that's quite handy, because I'll act out that I've got Zoom on my phone, and then
yes, that's good. I'm sorry, just scrolling down.
Have you got it? All right.
Sorry, I will do. I'm just having to scroll down. I'm be very careful with the system so I don't lose this.
Right.
Apologies for this technical. I'm on another system today. That's why it's more difficult. Okay. Let me see. I'll just go down there.
So
I have thee not, therefore pursue me not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll be a wimpy Demetrius.
Okay, and so I'll be a bit more. So we'll try me the adamant, and then we'll swap and
then we'll think of something. Okay, so
awesome.
I love thee not, therefore pursue me not. Hence get thee gone, and follow me no more.
Look at me. Look at me.
What?
You draw me. You draw me. Look at me. You draw me. You draw me. You hard-hearted adamant.
Do I entice you? Do I speak you fair? Or rather, do I not in plainest truth tell you? I do not, nor I cannot love you.
Say that again. And even for that, do I love thee more? Look at me.
Not and the hatred of my spirit. For I am sick when I do look on thee.
And I am sick when I look not on you. I'll follow you. I will follow you, and I will make a heaven of hell to die upon that hand that I think that I love so much.
No, don't, please.
I'm here. I'm not going to leave you.
Oh my God, you're so scary. Right. Do you want to quickly try a different one? I mean, that was great. I thought that was really good.
I was
quite an interesting combination.
We've got to. All right. Yeah. Well, let's just try the very me being wimpy. I'd like to be wimpy for a change.
Okay, then.
Just
Can we both be wimpy, please?
Yeah, let's both be wimpy. That's a good idea.
I love thee not, therefore pursue me not. Hence get thee gone, and follow me no more.
You draw me, you hard-hearted adamant. You draw me.
Well, do I entice you? Do I speak you fair? Or rather, do I not in plainest truth tell you I do not, nor I cannot love you?
And in for that, I love you more. I love you more.
Not too much the hatred of my spirit, for I am sick.
So that I've edited it.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Because the other thing you want to do is all the text that you use online, edit it. I've always said if it doesn't fit in a single page, right, and people have to spend time thinking about the next page, you want to keep people going. So I try and edit every piece of text that I use down to a page so that you can see it on a single PowerPoint. It just makes life easier. They've got the script at home. They can go and, read the unedited version. So what I want you to do now is now what I would be doing is this is where you record. Okay. So you record these pieces. So I'd spotlight 2 people. I would record the piece. And then what I would do is I would then put the recorded piece on our protected area, right? Because effectively what we're doing is rehearsing here. And I know I'm going to go back into the studio at some point, and I want them to remember the work they did. So it's really important to record them because then they can remember what came up, right? Actually, in lots of times, I used to record my whole lesson for some people that couldn't come because they were unwell or they couldn't get in or so on and so forth. So recording your lessons is really good for those young people. Sometimes they just woke up that day and they just didn't want to be there. They had other things to do. So they could always jump in on a recording. Okay, so I'm going to go Linda.
Sorry, Leigh. Sorry, can I ask a quick
Yeah.
question?
Yeah, of course.
When you've got them all in their breakout rooms, can you be recording them all at the same time? So you've got all of that material?
A really good question. The breakout rooms, if you think of a breakout room as a separate studio. So if I wanted to go and record that breakout room, so let's say I had 2 people that were coming up with stuff that I just thought was like absolutely mind-blowing. I could jump into their breakout room, right? I could take my camera off so it only shows the silhouette logo, and I could record their rehearsal. And you could go around and do all that. If you want to pick up, unedited rehearsal, you can do that. But think of the breakout rooms as a separate studio. That's the best way to think of it.
So yeah, you can't record everyone at once, can you?
No.
What about, I mean, if people recorded themselves in the break, that wouldn't really. I don't know if that would be possible.
No, and I think that's a safety. I think there's also some safety, setups around that.
Yeah,
it is. What I tended to do is if someone said to me, so if you're in a breakout room and you were doing stuff that you really wanted me to record, because the whole thing is your actors, should be able to sometimes call you in. Then all they do is call me into the breakout room. So I'd go into the breakout room and go, yeah, well, how can I help? And they'd go, Leigh, could you record this? Right, because we're going to forget it. So I'd go, okay, brilliant, let's just record it. And then I'm in the breakout room. I'll record it for them and I'll come back.
So the host has to be in that breakout room. They can record it and then leave and go to another room to record it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Andrea, what you can do, which is what I've done before, is I put in one breakout room, I put Demetrius, Lysander, Helena, and Hermia. In the other breakout room, I put Bottom, Quince, I put all the mechanicals. In the other breakout room, I put Titania and Oberon, right? And in the last breakout room, I had these 4 people that are working on Puck, right? I gave them all their scenes to work on, right? I sent them all their scenes before we even walked in. We did some nice prep. And then I said, you've got 10 minutes. I'm going to come and visit each breakout room, check you're all right, answer any questions. But then in 10 minutes, I'm going to come and video your section. So I went to the lovers, I videoed their 3 minutes on a piece. I went to and then once I'd videoed each of those, I then had captured their rehearsal process. That is a way to do it that everyone's still working and no one's slowing down. Because you want that pace, don't you? You don't want anyone to get bored. And when you're working with 20 actors online, breakout rooms, that's why I said right in the beginning, breakout rooms is your friend. That's the way to get rehearsals done. The other bonus is, Andrea, is that you can then share all those videos in that protected area. And then you can say to them, your homework by next week is you have to comment on every video what worked, right? What didn't work, and questions to pose. So that means the person that's created that goes into next week's session with a load of questions about their performance, which is brilliant. So the stuff that you can do outside of Zoom, you do outside of Zoom. Commenting on someone's performance, you can do now, we can do that now, but actually deeply commenting on it can be done outside. And the bonus is, we went back into the studio 5 weeks ago, and they can watch some of the videos that they created on Zoom. Because the one thing you don't want to do, my view, is you don't want to lose the work you're doing now. Because if you're just coming on Zoom to play around, that's absolutely fine. But they will get to a point where they want to perform. They want to, you're hopefully going to get back into a studio. So you don't want to lose all the work you've done online. Otherwise, they realize just working online doesn't have any end goal. That means the engagement drops, the relevance drops.
Just to say that we've had a question about what age group this Midsummer Night's Dream work that you did was aimed at. Did you work with everybody, or was it a particular age group?
For this play, that we ranged from. Wait, I'm working 9 to 17. They're all in the same cast, and there's 30 of them.
Okay. Yeah. So you didn't find that a problem with having some really young and some more mature? This could be controversial, right? But in my school, we started Shakespeare at 5 because they can. The only people that say that children can't do Shakespeare are people that don't know how good children are. The language is in our body. You just got to take time. You got to break it down. They don't have to do the full script. The language I've just given you there with Demetrius and Demetrius and Helena, right? Well, my 7-year-olds, it's not difficult language. It's not. You've just got to get rid of all that worry and that scared and that fear. And also, I'm very lucky. I get to work with the RSC on a regular basis, and I see the amazing stuff they do with young people, and our young people go and work in that place. And just by the way, our young people don't come into school speaking English, by the way. My last school was in a very, very, very deprived area they would never go and see theatre, let alone Shakespeare. But we have to get rid of that myth, because if you look at it, when you guys were having the argument online, that's Shakespeare. We've changed the words, but it's no real different to their mum and dad arguing that mum loves dad or dad doesn't love mum. So Leigh, can I just Eleanor's got a question, but also
Yeah, sorry, very quick question. So my question about the workshop is not about 5-year-olds, whether or not 5-year-olds can do Shakespeare, because I'm completely with you on that. And my question was because in terms of this, because as they're working in the way we just have there with the text, they're in those breakout groups for quite a bit of time. If you're going to be going from one group to another and filming some to do a scene, and then you're giving them that time, they're going to be in that breakout room for quite a bit of time. So my question was, how well are these younger kids responding to that period of being you know, how long when they're not being facilitated, and how long their attention, they keep, you know, they're happy to continue working with that one person.
Yeah, so
experience, I'm really asking.
Yeah, no, it's fine. If you had a group of 5-year-olds in the same room together and it was just 5-year-olds, oh my gosh, no longer than, you know, that's totally different. But remember that this is a mixed cast. So there'll be 7, 8-year-olds in with 15-year-olds, and 10-year-olds. And so all these groups, right, are all the young people that are in these groups are part of the whole cast. So I have young directors. So some of my young people who are like, I don't know, 17, 18 are young directors, right? So I strategically place them in the breakout rooms. So like I might send Amelia to be with the, you know, with the lovers. I might send Ashley to be with the mechanicals. So there's always someone in a position of facilitation. And if that person then goes, Leigh, actually, could we talk to you? They call me in. So my young directors help out on that one. Yeah. But they've also then got very good role models, haven't they? So then your 7-year-old has got a role model in the room that's not Leigh, which is the most important thing, because it should never always be me. If they always need me in the room to do work, then I've failed. You know.
Leigh, could I just remind us all of the time, because we've got we should be ending in about quarter of an hour's time.
Okay, cool.
So just in terms of, obviously you're happy to take questions, but also I know you wanted to mention something about moving back to the studio as well.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to do this fairly quickly, right? And I'm almost thinking of this, right? Bear with me. I'm going to take you over my slides at fair pace, right? And then David will send you my slides. Yeah. But I just need to get, who's gone back into a studio? Put your hand if you've gone back into a studio yet. Okay. So let me tell you some things that you will not expect, right? Which I did not. And I've been back in 5 weeks. Oh, Julie's back in the studio. Legend. It's so beautiful, by the way, when you go back. It's hallowed. I burst into tears for the whole week. I was terrible. So let me just show you some of the things. Right. David, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear and see your screen share.
Fab. So I'm going to go to this. Right. The same thing applies. The hurdles I had when we went back. Right. And our concerns, this is one of our one of our studios with the lines down on the floor, 2 meters, working in squares. My concerns were these. Are my young people ready to return? What would make them feel safe? What do we need to provide them for? How do we maintain a balance in their lives? What are their concerns? Who would not return? Who would not walk back in the studio? And how do we make it relevant and engaging? So those were my concerns. My concerns was their mental health. Some of our young people had been online for 6 months, and they were walking into the studio again. You know, how were their social skills? Would they rather just stay online because it was easier? And what other pressures would they be facing? And I didn't know the answers, by the way. No one does. And then the space. The panic about the space, man. What are the government guidelines? You know, our guidelines are very different from country to country. What do we have to put in place? How many young people in the same space? You know, what training do we have to? We've all had to do first aid training. Everyone that now works in theatre in the UK, when they go back, if you look at the guidelines, needs to be first aid trained. What equipment do we have to take in? What equipment are we allowed? What are we going to? I mean, it just went on and on and on. You know, so many questions. How are we going to be flexible? Right. By the way, these change every week. So the moment you think you've nailed it, it will change. Right. And then the tools, you know, what would we keep? What online stuff would we keep? If we're going to go back online, you know, what do we need? You know, what didn't work online? Dance does not work online. It works online for a while and then it becomes impossible. So what happens if we have to close? Do we go back online? What do we need to recreate? These were serious questions because we had spent 6 months online. And then the work, oh, don't even get me started. You know, do we continue from the online work? Do we start again with new work? You know, how do we do performance? If we have to be socially distanced of 2 meters, how do you perform, right? You know, how could a script be adapted to be social distance? I mean, that's a hard. And dance, music, drama, which ones would we come back to? All of them or none of them? And how long would we work on pieces? And the questions just kept coming, right? And I'm sure you've got 101 others. And where do you start? I mean, we started with the space. And guys, if you're going back in, you just got to follow guidelines. Because I don't know about you, but they can walk into our space in the UK. They can check our space. And if our space is not compliant, they can close it down. Right? So you need to start with the space, right? The other stuff will come. So you've got to follow all those guidelines. You have everything signed off and cleared. Okay. You need to check your, you know, you need to check things like your insurance, right? You've got to share this with every young person. You've got to make sure that all your practitioners have done their training and their understanding. You've got to buy all the new stuff that we spent hundreds of pounds on, you know, oh my gosh, hundreds of pounds on stuff, you know, like hand sanitizer and masks and right. And then get someone else that is not you to oversee it so that you got someone else to sign it off so that they pick up the parts that are not there. Right. And then you've got to have we have weekly meetings. What's working well? What's not working well? What do we need to change? Get feedback from others, share at the start of every lesson with every child in every session what they need to do, because they will forget it, because they will get excited, right? Be strict within reason, but go in and go, this is what we need to do, guys, right? Be adaptable and flexible because things change from Monday to Tuesday, Monday to Friday, and have a clear process, procedure, and policy, and share it with everyone. Get it signed off, right? So that it's not just all on your shoulders, right? Because it's not a case of if it will go wrong, it's when it will go wrong. So we're already in the space where people are saying that they might have COVID symptoms. So your bubbles, your registers, knowing who was there, at what time they were there, right? Who they were mixing with, you just have to be absolutely on it, right? So you need to ask yourself, what do you not have in place before you even send out a single email to ask the people to come back in? And then you talk to the young people and you take it slow and you go over the procedures and you ask them if they feel safe and secure, and you ask them what you're not doing, right? When they get in, spend time talking, playing and communicating, because you will find some of them will come back into your studio and they've forgotten how to communicate, right? And you need to build slowly because it's like starting again, right? It really is. And you will be surprised how some of those young people left you in March, in my case, come back in September, different individuals. And you've got to slowly pull out that confidence again. For a lot of them, you've got to start again, right? Don't worry, they will get there. Trust it, that if you surround them with the things they need, they will get there. And I would say make all your sessions short, sharp for the first couple of weeks and fun. It's like you're starting with a new child. That's the way I'm viewing it, right? Be aware, you're going to have people that are going to go into meltdown. Give them support. We do well-being sessions for every child. Some will not transition easily, right? And will actually leave. And you need to be aware of that. and there'll be nothing you can do. They're not in the place to come back. Communicate with parents constantly, right? Make it a positive environment for everyone. And a lot of people that I know went straight into sessions. I didn't. The first week, all we did was talk. We actually sat in our 2x2 meter squares and talked. And I just threw them discussion things to talk about, right? And we do a lot of improv. For the first 2 or 3 weeks, we just improved, laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. And by the way, we've just had quite a bad week, as in, I just feel like, things are quite tough at the moment for our children. And we've spent the whole week just having fun. Actually, we're doing 5, 6 different plays at the moment, but I've put them on hold this week. Right. And I'm just going to stop there, and I'm going to say, like, any questions? I would say, I thought they would all walk back in and we'd all just carry on. And I had to stop everything. By the way, we're now 5 weeks in. We're working on, Midsummer Night's Dream, Lord of the Flies, Jesus Christ Superstar. We're working on loads of stuff. We have 13 sessions a week, right? We do a lot at our studio, and only now it's been 5 weeks. But yeah, it's been interesting. And every night I walk in and I don't know what and you'll also get this thing where your COVID situation. So if someone gets COVID, right, and you currently the recommendation in the UK is groups of 15, make up one bubble. They have to be 2 meters apart. You can decide about face masks inside or not. If a child wants to wear a face mask, they can. You can decide if I'm delivering the lesson, I can stay 2 meters away or I can wear a face mask. It all comes down to your guidelines, because everyone out there has read the guidelines and done something different. It's about you making sure that you know what your guidelines are. What we do is we make sure that that when you come to the space, you've got your mask on, because we're in a shopping center. When you get to the space, we take your temperature. We turn it into a game, but we take your temperature. As you come in, you do your hand sanitizer. There is a one-way system into our studio. You put your bags down. You can only touch your bag, your drink, your script, your pen. You sit in your 2x2 meter block, right? If you need to go to the toilet, that's fine. You go to the toilet, you wipe it down before you go to the toilet, you wipe it down. There's hand sanitizers when you come out, right? When you finish the session, we let you go one by one. Your parents have to collect you outside. You hand sanitize as you leave. We then leave half an hour before the next session comes in, and we sanitize everything that's been touched. The only thing we don't touch is the floor. We don't sanitize the floor. And that's working. And I go out there all the time and ask the parents if they're happy, and ask the children if they're happy. We've got those little QR codes outside our stuff, but actually you don't need them, because I've got an online register of everyone that attends. So if I have to close the bubble, so like we might have a child in our musical theatre bubble that might have COVID, then I just send a message to all of them, go, just to let you know, there's been a case of COVID with the musical theatre. So for the next 14 days, we're closing it, which is gutting. But and by the way, we don't close it because we just go back online, because I've built such a robust online system. We just jump back online.
And also, Leigh, you mentioned to me that you sometimes leave your laptop on for people who can't come because they're at home.
Yeah. So what happens is, in every session, right? So let's say a school's closed their bubble down and they've sent all 90 children home. I will put my laptop in the session. The Zoom will be on. They will log in. So we're rehearsing for Midsummer Night's Dream at the moment. They'll log in. They'll have their scripts, and they will follow our session. So that means if they're at home, I'm still giving them an alternative to come in via Zoom. So someone yesterday couldn't make it, And he went, Leigh, I'm worried that I'm going to miss out. And I went, mate, Zoom's open at the same time. Just jump in. And then I go to the Zoom. I go, hi guys, how are you? All right? You cool? Okay, just watch this, and I'll come back to you every now and then, and you can ask me questions. But actually, what I've done now is I've put one of my assistant directors near the laptop who answers the questions all the time, and she's 17, so she just fires away. So you can. Actually, on Wednesday, I had as many in the studio as on Zoom, which was very...
The other thing you told me is that you managed to put people in a group together where some were on Zoom and some were acting live and they were improvising together.
Yeah, so the lovers, okay, so I had my Hermia and Helena in my studio, and I had my Demetrius and Lysander on Zoom. So what I did is I got my daughter to go onto Zoom. I put them all in breakout rooms. I put the Lysander and Demetrius into a breakout room, and she had them on her phone. She took her phone to the group who were rehearsing, and the 4 of them were rehearsing together through her phone.
Mm-hmm.
It was just amazing.
So she was like mirroring your Zoom session on her phone. Yeah. Okay.
Well, all I did is I said, listen, Delilah, go onto my Zoom session on your phone, and I'll put these 2 in a breakout room. Join that breakout room. There's 4 of them in the corner. I've always said, and I said this to you in the beginning, every hurdle can be jumped over. And most times the young people will tell you how to do it, because they're so more resourceful than we are. I would say, and I think there's a question there about a really good question. Okay, Jenny, what if children need to sit on the floor in chairs? Jenny, on floors at the moment, before we get there, we clean them, and after we leave, after sessions, we clean the floors. On chairs, any chair that we use, we've just got wipes. We wipe the chair and we put it back. Eleanor, brilliant question about performance. Performance is a really good question. Okay, so I was very honest with them at the beginning that we will do a performance, but that we're going to be looking at spring or summer, right? So this is the perfect time for us to really get used to the script, really block it nicely, rehearse it, but we will perform, but we can't, we need to almost say to them, but before the end of spring or summer, it's not going to happen. So we need to be all right with that. So those honest conversations are had right in the beginning, which means that your performance schedule for spring and summer is going to be packed. But you know what? And I've also just said, let's say we all go into lockdown, right? We have now done 6 or 7 weeks and they've got a real appetite again, which will mean that'll bring that energy into lockdown. And also, Andrea, are the students masked for the entire session? Really good question, Andrea. It depends on your youth theatres or your school's procedure. So I worked in a school a couple of weeks ago. I had to be masked the whole time. In our studio, because it's almost, we detox as they come in and we detox as they go out. I say to them, I'm not going to wear a mask. I'm going to stand 2 meters away from you, right? If I have to get closer, I have my mask there. But at the moment, I haven't. Some children go, can they wear their mask during the session? And I go, fine. And then what tends to happen is they wear it for 5 minutes and go, don't want to wear it anymore. But you have to keep to it, which is hard because, let's be honest, all you want to do is you just want to go up and you just want to give them a massive hug, and you want to tell them how much you love them and how incredible they are and how special they are and how amazing the studio space is, and you want to dance and you want to sing and you want to just go for it and you want to do big ensemble pieces, but you just can't.
But right. Anyway, Leigh, I'm going to start to wind things up here, and you've given us so much of your experience. And it's been really great as well to actually take part and find out that you can improvise. And actually, you know, we were just beginning to scrape the surface in our breakout rooms, and you begin to realize that actually, you know, you could go quite deep. You're just starting to realize the parameters of what's available. And I did have the opportunity of sitting in on one of your Zoom meetings with young people, and I was just really impressed with the fact that they were completely unlimited by the fact that it was on Zoom. So they were just fully involved in the story and in the characters. And I think we have to remember that, you know, that we shouldn't be limited by this. It's just a form of technology. It's a form of communication. And there are still incredible things that we can do. So Leigh, can we thank Leigh for 3 wonderful sessions? And can we also give him a big thumbs up because it's his birthday today? Yeah. So happy birthday to Leigh.
21. I'm 21 years old.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I get the key of the house, everything.
Happy birthday. Happy
Thanks, man.
birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the Facebook group will be open for about another week and a half. So, you know, you can still post ideas and questions in there. And I will send out the PowerPoint that Leigh's gone through today. And I'll also send out the recording of this session. And so feel free to email me or Leigh. And it's been really great to meet you all. And some people I've met before, some people I hope we'll meet again. And so do keep in contact. As you probably know, you're actually, because you took part in this, you're on the Drama Resource mailing list. So you will get some newsletters from me letting you know what's going on. Okay, so thanks very much, everybody. And it's been a brilliant week.
Thank you so much.
Bye, bye, bye.
Thank you so much, Leigh and David.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah,
so
thank
much.
you.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, and you've got my email. And David, I'll catch up with you next week.
Sure.
Because yeah, David and I are going to write a script together at some
That's
point.
true. We've started on it. Yeah, we've started
Would
already.
love to work in that.
Yeah, but the problem is we both get too excited. So I think I don't know where it's going to end. Okay, guys, look after yourself. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.